There seems to be complete commotion in the Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha. That has in fact come in now. The Lok Sabha has in fact been adjourned because, as one could see, a lot of members of the Bharatiya Janata Party were actually jumping into the well and demanding that strict action in fact be taken, and there should be adherence to what they actually want to do, which means a discussion followed by voting under section 184 in the Lok Sabha as well as section 167 in the Rajya Sabha, which actually means that there is a discussion then followed by voting. Of course, that is something that has not been agreed to, and that is why the BJP as well as other opposition parties have decided to raise their decibel over this entire issue. Right, Madhav, the question that we were in fact talking about, the point that we were in fact talking about is the strategy of both the Bharatiya Janata Party as well as the Congress. I mean, till yesterday there was this issue of corruption as well as price rise. Today there is another issue that the BJP has, quite literally, they have another arrow in their quiver. The opposition attacking the Prime Minister over the CAG report.
Absolutely. In fact, Sanket, really the use of the term arrow in the quiver is really what was referred to really on Sunday by Sushma Swaraj while speaking about a number of issues that the BJP is going to raise in this session. It's not just the matter of internal security, not just price rise, not just corruption, but a whole host of issues that the BJP plans to rake up in this particular session. And in fact, yesterday, the reason for the stalling of the proceedings was in fact stated by the leaders of opposition in both the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha, Arun Jaitley and Sushma Swaraj, quite clearly as being the fact the Prime Minister had gone back on his word, had in fact launched a complete attack saying that on the BJP, saying that there are several skeletons in the closet as far as the BJP is concerned, saying that there was a broad agreement really for various discussions that were to take place, but really with this kind of an unprovoked remark, really there was no other option left. That was really the statement coming out from BJP's side, raising a large number of issues. But today, of course, remains to be seen if the government can, in fact, at some level or the other, reach any kind of agreement. Certainly, of course, discussions would be taking place right after the adjournment, and one needs to see really whether post 2 o'clock order does return to the House or whether the BJP continues, plans to continue this protest right through the day today as well, Sanket.
As I told you, the numbers game really is something that it all boils down to. In the wake of the Speaker and the Chairman actually agreeing to the opposition's demand, where will the government stand? It's over to Deep for all the mathematics.
Right, Sanket, in fact, let me show you the letters that Times Now has in possession at this point in time. 4 separate set of letters ranging back as much as to November 2004 when Sunil Dutt was the sports minister, and very clearly in this letter that he wrote to the Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, he says, I was surprised to see newspaper reports about a resolution passed by the Indian Olympic Association regarding appointment of President IOA as chairman of the organizing committee. Now CWG chairman being appointed in 2004 and Sunil Dutt right after that raising questions about that, in fact going on to say that the IOA was aware of the decision of the GOM appointing Minister Youth Affairs and Sports as chairman of the organizing committee for preparation and conduct of Commonwealth Games. Very clearly he says he got to know of it from the newspapers, and as the Youth Affairs and Sports Minister he does question that here. But this soon after that, in fact, as I told you, this was in 2004 November. Here is another document the Times Now is in possession of. This is from the 3rd of December 2004, about a month later, and it is signed by the Joint Secretary to the PM. This is the document, in fact, which has the opposition baying for the UPA's blood, in fact, asking if the Prime Minister's office did, in fact, shield Kalmadi or support him. Here, very, very clearly, it says an organizing committee and executive board responsible for the conduct of the games and formulation of subcommittees. The organizing committee may be chaired by Sri Suresh Kalmadi, president of the IOA. In fact, this is the paragraph that shows very, very clearly that 1 month after the then Sports Minister Sunil Dutt raised an objection with the Prime Minister in clear terms, Suresh Kalmadi was nevertheless made the chief of the organizing committee. This very clearly says the organizing committee may be chaired by Sri Suresh Kalmadi, president of the Indian Olympic Association. Now, signed by the Joint Secretary to the PM. These are 2 letters from 2004 which very, very clearly show that in all possibility the Prime Minister's office was completely aware of the decision to pick Suresh Kalmadi as the person heading the CWGOC, and that the then Sports Minister had put on record that he was not approving of the same. Once again, some more letters that came about after Sunil Dutt. The next man in the sports ministry was Manishankar Iyer. This is a letter from October 2007, 23rd October 2007, where he very clearly goes on to say, in consequence, money is being squandered, such as appointing Mike Hooper of the Commonwealth Games Federation as an international consultant. He goes on to talk about his, as he calls it, his primary concern. Almost all decisions are taken in the committee of the executive board that do not include government officials, and the executive board does not report the decision of these committees to the Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports. He is very clearly saying that the Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports is being left out of the decision-making process. He has in fact raised concerns about how this is leading to money being squandered, talking about rupees 2 crore being spent for just one consultant, Mike Hooper in this case. But this is not all. Soon after that, that was 23rd October 2007, just 2 days later, 25th October 2007, Manishankar Iyer, the sports minister, once again writes to the Prime Minister and talks about how his ministry has failed to establish a genuinely cooperative working relationship with the organizing committee. This has happened despite, he says, my personal decision to not operationalize the Apex committee authorized by the group of ministers after Kalmadi's vociferous opposition. So 2 letters that were sent by the then sports minister in a matter of 3 days, on the 23rd of October 2007 and 25th October. Not the only letters that were sent out from the sports minister. Remember, in 2004, in November, the then sports minister Sunil Dutt also raising similar concerns, saying that the sports ministry was not brought into this decision. But at the same time, once again, the Prime Minister's office bringing out a letter that says that Suresh Kalmadi may in fact be made the head of the CWGOC.